So I wanted to go over, like, it's at least 10, maybe more points. I'm going to try to go through them as quickly as possible about things that have come either to light or things that I have thought up and been like, wait, that doesn't add up. Okay. So first things first, there's this thing that came out. Megyn Kelly came on and said, she went to Arizona, obviously, to bear with Erica Kirk. And Erica Kirk must have relayed to her that she and Charlie had hired a priest to come over to pray over him for the following reason. Apparently, and I did a really short video about this earlier, there's a website called Jezebel.com, and it's like a left-leaning publication. Anyways, they had written a post. It's been taken down, so don't waste your time looking for it. They had said that they were going to hire a priest, or not priest, whatever you hire, I don't know, on Etsy to cast a spell on him. And they were saying that they were joking around, right? Like they wanted him to wake up every day with a zit on his face or thumbs too large to tweet, this, that, and the other. Okay. Well, apparently Erica Kirk, now, so that is why the right is canceling Etsy. If you haven't heard about it, that's what's up. And now, I don't really think that Etsy should be selling curses. I do agree with that, but I don't know if that's a whole cancel Etsy situation, but whatever. Okay, anyway, here's where I go sideways with that. So if you were so worried about it, right? So this article was published on September 8th, but apparently the curse, hex, whatever Megyn Kelly kept calling it, was placed like 2 weeks before. And she said, oh, like, it's not Amazon. Basically, the universe takes its time. So the article is posted on the 8th. Obviously, we know what happens on the 10th. They were so worried about it that they called a priest over to pray over Charlie. All right. But here's my problem with that. So if you're so worried about it that you called a priest over to pray over your family, and Charlie specifically. All right. She had, in her own words, implored Charlie to wear body armor, which you can very clearly see he's not wearing, because body armor would be like a sill plate, like a thing that would go right. It'd be all the way across the front of his chest. You can see his nipples under his shirt. So I'm not trying to be crass. I'm just being serious. You can. So you could tell he's not wearing body armor. All right. So she had implored him to wear body armor. So the night before you left, you have a priest come over, but yet you don't beef up security. You don't wear body armor. You don't have an ambulance on standby. I mean, I'm sorry, that's a big ass disconnect for me. And there are several like that in this video. Okay, next point. No matter how many times I watch this video, from how many angles, I don't see a single drop of blood on the ground where they're carrying him. So guys, he got shot in the carotid artery. I mean, we talk mass, he would have literally bled out, okay? No chance. There's no way there wouldn't have been blood. You saw they didn't stop to wrap him. There was no like stuffing of the wound. Didn't happen. All right. And the concrete that they're walking across, if you look, it's basically white. So any drop of blood would have stood out. It wasn't black concrete. It was white. Go watch the videos. Okay. I don't see a drop of blood on the ground. I don't see a drop of blood on anybody carrying him. Okay. Next point. The guy that you see, reaching up there getting the SD card down. Y'all tell me, but to me, old boy does not look worried about being taken out. So here's the thing. How did he know that he was safe? Everybody else is running and scattering and da-da-da. But he obviously knew like he was good to go. He could get up there and pull that card out. He was no problem. Now you're literally standing where the shooting occurred. Okay? But yet there's no suspect in custody yet, but you're just up here making yourself a bigger target by getting on top of a chair. I mean, I don't know. For me, that behavior is out of turn with what you would see someone who was trying to protect themselves do. And some of these guys are just like, maybe I missed it. Y'all let me know. Why are there no pictures of him being taken from the vehicle into the hospital? Or I have not seen a single picture of Erica Kirk going into the hospital. Now, you know full well that the press would have known absolutely where Charlie Kirk had been taken. Obviously, because people are not stupid. They could be like, oh, the event was here. He was shot. Obviously, they're going to go to the closest hospital. Whether it was the appropriate level of trauma care would have been a moot point. They would have just gone to the closest hospital. Okay. So you know that the press would have been posted up outside of the hospital. Apparently she got on a plane immediately thereafter. I'll circle back to that. But I don't see any pictures of her going in and out of the hospital. Also, I haven't seen a single picture of her going in and out of the funeral home, which I'll also circle back to in a minute. So though the memorial service or political rally was held in Glendale, Arizona, he will be laid to rest supposedly in Phoenix, Arizona. Now, he was unalived on the 10th. Today's the 25th. That is 2 weeks and 2 days, which is 2 days longer than any window that I've ever heard of people not being buried. So as I am aware, as of the filming of this video at 12 noon Central Standard Time on the 25th, he has not been buried. And TPUSA said they're being kind of vague or whatever. there's been no declaration made about an actual burial or like where it will be. September 11th, he was flown back via Air Force Two, and he was taken to Hanson Mortuary Chapel, which is supposedly where he's been ever since. I personally find it confusing why she chose to only show his hands in the casket, because obviously if the casket is open, which it clearly was because you saw her kind of had her head down on him, they would do work, right, to restore. I mean, I had a friend who was unalived when we were teenagers, and unfortunately someone, okay, and she had an open casket, and my point is that they had done whatever magic they do where you couldn't see that. So I'm confused as to why. I have not seen any pictures, not that I want to see, but I have not seen any pictures of Charlie Kirk like laying in his whatever you call coffin outside of his hands. Maybe I missed it. And that brings me to Erica Kirk. Okay, so if you know her history, right? She grew up. She was raised by a single mom. After their divorce, they moved to Phoenix, Arizona. Her mom raised her to be a hustler, be a baller, go after your own money, do your own thing. Which is why you saw her getting all those advanced degrees, and she wasn't married and she didn't have kids, and then she met Charlie. So she said that was her belief, that she was, supposed to take care of herself. That's how her mother had raised her, and that when she met Charlie, her views changed. Okay, so she was raised a tomboy, said she didn't wear heels till she was 14. She played NCAA basketball in college. All right, up to speed. Then, she did the beauty pageant thing. And yes, guys, I'm aware of the whole Turning Point, Romanian Angels nonsense, but we can't tie it to her. There's no proof. So that's why I don't address it, because it's speculation. But it started to be weird to me. I was like, wait, this was his first tour of a 20 campus tour rotation, and she wasn't there. Why? So then I started digging, and I found out that her mother was not well. So apparently Charlie said that she needed to stay at home, and apparently that's where she was when she got the phone call. She was in her mother's hospital room. She got the phone call about Charlie. And I was looking at her Instagram page, because I just was. Anyways, and this was weird. On September 7th, she posted 10 more days, and then it said 9/16/25. I have been unable to figure out what the hell that means. So if y'all want to go digging, do TikTok, do what you do, let me know. I've heard people speculate that it was something called a movie called The Way, which was going to be released. I can find no proof of that. Some people were speculating that she was pregnant or they had a book coming out. I don't know. Anyway, just letting you know it's there. So this brings me to my final point, but not the smallest of them. So it was called the American Comeback Tour. Well, now they just resumed the tour on the 22nd with their first stop, which they did in Minnesota. Okay, but now it's being called the Turning Point Tour, supposedly to honor Charlie's legacy, whatever. But if you're trying to galvanize a nation, right, to turn against a certain group of people, this terrible thing happens, then all of a sudden you rally the base, then you change. I would think to honor his legacy, you would leave the name alone because that's the name that Charlie Kirk chose. But instead, now they all of a sudden do this flip switch and they change the name of the tour to the Turning Point Tour, which may mean nothing, but I don't know. It just felt weird to me, so I wanted to mention it. Two other minor points. I have heard some rumblings that people who try to upload their videos from that day, because obviously there were thousands of people there, that it's immediately being censored or suppressed or taken down altogether. Also, I do find it weird that we don't see these people. I have seen a few videos here and there, but I would feel like there would be hundreds, if not thousands of people doing videos oh my God, I was there, or hospital staff or whatever, but yet mum's the word. So for all of those reasons, I find this situation completely odd. Y'all let me know what you think. Leave the thing. And yes, guys, I've heard the whole teleprompter, blah, blah, blah. I'm not ruling it out. I just don't, I can't put my finger on it. So I don't know. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think.